Hey guys, it's Meg. What's up? What's poppin'? Welcome to the first episode of season 13. Before we start this episode, can we just talk about that? Season 13 is crazy to me, especially because this whole podcast started as a homework assignment, and I know I say this every single season, but every single season it blows my mind. I also was listening to another podcast recently, and they were saying like every 100 episodes should be a season. So technically, this is our 157th episode. So technically, we should only be at season 2. But here's the beautiful thing about podcasting is it's so brand new as an industry, as a art form, as a creative outlet that there are no rules. So we're at season 13 because I do 13 episodes per season. And now that we skirted, let's cue the music here. Some of us scroll through social media and see a certain aesthetic. So let's get cozy and talk about grandma and grandpa core, also known as grandparent core. And I decided to start this season off with this aesthetic because I think it's going to be trending this year. I'm putting that out right now. You know, we always do a trend episode in this podcast. And I think grandma and grandpa core is going to be trending this year. I just see it in the vibes. I see it when I go shopping. I see it at work. I think it's going to be the vibe. So the source we use for this whole entire episode is aesthetics.fandom.com. And so grandparent core overall is just like an overall grouping. It is known as comfortable and whimsical, focusing on things we enjoy. Now, it can imply a certain level of expert knowledge in different topics and things, but many parts of this aesthetic include old, vintage, or antique ideas or pieces. And disclaimer, before we deep dive, even though these aesthetics seem very gendered, very like female, male, I don't know what word I was going to say after that, I lost it. They aren't. Anyone can wear or participate no matter what they might identify as. And I also think, so we're on YouTube now. Officially, I figured it out. Every episode that I could possibly put up is up. And I started posting YouTube shorts by the time that this episode airs. But I was thinking what could be fun and cute. I might make a little YouTube short based off every single episode. So we might dress or try to embody grandma core one day and then maybe grandpa core another day. Just another thought. We're skirting a lot, but honestly, I missed this. I've missed yapping in my closet to myself. And I just want to thank everybody who listens to the podcast, even if it's just 1 second. It's beautiful and I love it. I like being here. It's fun. So we're going to break up the grandparents momentarily and we're going to talk about grandma core first, just because there's way more out there on grandma core. So, grandma core is said to be based off of cottage and stereotypical grandma things such as gardening, soft knitted fabric, crocheting, farmland animals, and fresh baked bread. Some key motifs are kindness, baking, knitting, crocheting, embroidering, and sewing. Which, not to skirt, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in a previous podcast episode last season. I still have not learned how to embroider. Just like I still haven't finished Gilmore Girls. I'm a procrastinator, everyone. Key values are kindness, love a kitsch, Kitsch. Did I look that up? No. So, Editing Meg? Hey, what's up? It's Editing Meg. And it is actually pronounced kitsch. And it is art, objects, or design considered to be in poor taste because of excessive garnish or sentimentality. But sometimes it's appreciated in an ironic or knowing way. And an example it gave was lava lamps being a 60s kitsch. Thank you for that and welcome to season 13. Honing expertise, comfort, coziness, altruism, I don't even want to know. Wisdom, enjoying favorite activities. Some related aesthetics is coastal grandmother, which, round of applause, I actually wrote this down and Editing Meg does not need to come in. Season 9, episode 10, we did a whole podcast episode dedicated to coastal grandmother. If you go back, you can listen to it. Cottage core, I feel like I've done an episode on that one. I actually did do an episode on cottagecore. It was from season 9, episode 12, if you want to go back and listen to it. Foodie, Mallard style, and peoplehood. Don't ask me what that means. I didn't look it up. Related media. Agatha Christie novels, radio dramas, Murder, She Wrote from 1984 to 1996 specifically, cozy mysteries, game shows, The Golden Girls from 1985 to 1992, Steel Magnolias from 1989, Knives Out from 2019, and Sherlock Holmes stories. Some visual aspects, like if you go into Pinterest and you go grandma core, it should pull up multiple images of maybe knitting in balls of yarn in baskets, baked goods or sweets, a rocking chair or armchair by a fireplace, doilies. Those are just little like paper, like scalloped edged things. I actually don't know the purpose of a doily. I think you put your like drinks on it. I think it's like a coaster. Or maybe you put your plate on it. It has to do with putting some type of dishware on top of it, I'm pretty sure. Old novelty teapots, plates, or vases. Fake floral arrangements. Brightly colored old furniture, often covered in plastic. Kitschy, that word from before, Kitschy, trinkets, or novelty items centering on a certain theme. Maybe like cats or lighthouses or flowers, to name a few. House organized in a certain way. Now, the next thing they give is fashion. I just want to make a little note here that most of these said that it was handmade. I just removed that word for the sake of repetition. It is cozy jumpers. I'm pretty sure that's like sweatshirts and sweaters. Old dresses, knitted cardigans, aprons, long skirts, slippers, white hair pulled back neatly, older jewelry such as brooches, matching sets, or old rings, faded bathrobes, long cotton or flannel nightgowns. Now, activities. You have knitting, crocheting, quilting, sewing, baking, doing puzzles, all different kinds. Actual puzzles, crossword puzzles. I don't remember the other type of puzzles it said. Cooking, gift giving, watching daytime TV, listening to radio or records, gardening, floral arrangements, waking, nope, that's not right. Walking early morning. What? I think I just meant like going for early morning walks with your friends and then going to bed early. And that is everything for grandma core, but we can't forget about grandpa core. So let's shuffle on into grandpa core. And this is the more wholesome and socially accepting associations, is what it pointed out. So key motifs. I don't know how this is wholesome and socially accepting, but grouchiness, tinkering, vintage knickknacks, and clutter. Now, they gave key colors for grandpa core, and I'm a little upset they didn't for grandma core, but for grandpa core, it's just neutrals. Key values: quiet, sitting in a favorite chair, explaining vintage hobbies, televised sports games, and that was it. Related aesthetics: eclectic, eclectic, eclectic. Listen, 13 seasons in, 157 episodes later, we all know I don't know how to pronounce words, but it's that word, grandpa. Now, moving on, visuals: plaid, hats, scarves, or shirts, a well-worn chair, messy garage or workspace, a station wagon. We actually had a station wagon at my house, and we recently had to get rid of it because it seen better days. But I low-key missed that thing. It was cool. It had a third row with the seat facing the wrong way because, back then that was legal. Where did I leave off? Golf or football, vintage knickknacks, muted knit blankets, half-done crossword puzzles, and birdhouses. For fashion, a newsboy hat, suspenders, bow ties, button-up shirts, sweatshirts with school logos, half-zip sweaters, cardigans and sweaters, sweater vests, dirty shoes and slippers, old white socks, vintage or dirty watch, and high-waisted pants. There's also more. I didn't realize that. Flannels, brown leather shoes, and tweed jacket and a cane. For some activities, there is woodworking, auto repair, watching daytime TV, listening to radio and records, having affection for specific animals, smoking cigars, tinkering with broken appliances and machines, meeting old friends at cafes or restaurants, bickering with significant other, repetition of specific memories or events as if they've never told them before, hyper-specific hobbies such as model building, panoramas, World War II planes, rose gardening, or jazz music. And that is what we have for Grandma and Grandpa Core. Last season, we tested out doing this deep or dumb at the end of every episode, and I originally said I was going to ask on social media if people thought I should keep it, like if they thought it was deep or dumb. But I did get that idea from an episode we did with ChatGPT at the beginning of the season, and there's a lot of hate with AI. I get it. I understand it. So I decided to no longer use deep or dumb, and instead, I thought it'd be so fun and cute and inspiring and uplifting is I have different affirmation card decks, and I thought it'd be fun if after I talk about an episode, before I close it off, I just do a little shuffle, and I'm going to see what the affirmation of the week is going to be for us since my episode comes out on a Monday and maybe you listen on a Monday. So the deck I'm using today is called Inspired by Frida, and it's by Akal Pritam. I really hope I pronounced their name right. But I'm going to sit here, do some ASMR shuffling for you, and we're going to see what card pops out. There's also 40 cards. So I'm going to try to shuffle, but I'm also in my closet, so this is kind of like hard to do. And I was kind of hoping one would just fall out. But it's giving one's not going to just fall out, and I might just need to shuffle. Oh, I almost just dropped the whole deck. That would have been fun. Kind of wish you guys were here to tell me when to stop shuffling, but I pre-record these. There's no live. And it's giving no one's falling out. So I think I'm just going to have to... Ooh. I just might say that I almost dropped the deck. Oh, a couple fell. But we're going to take this one because this one fell on top and it's the only one. So, what is our affirmation? Yep, this is just one. It says, and I quote, "Give the world hope with your warm smile, effective etiquette, and graceful heart." So that is going to be our little phrase, and I think how we end every single episode. So, the next time you're scrolling on social media and you start seeing Grandma or Grandpa Core happening, just know it's been here for a little bit. It's kind of cute, it's kind of cozy, and it's fun, and who knows if it'll actually become more of a thing or not. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Hey Guys, It's Meg. You can follow Hey Guys, It's Meg _podcast on Instagram for updates and good times. Come back next Monday at 9 a.m. where I'm 90% sure we're going to talk about another aesthetic. One from, I want to say around 2012, maybe a little bit later than that. Definitely, actually, I think a little later than that. 2010s. One that we always seem to defrost right in time for fall. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace out, Girl Scouts.